So, we're here on my free-to-play series, and let's go through one of these, because it's been a bit of a nuisance, this event, for sure. Because yesterday I had to spend so much time just being able to get some decent rewards, and like what I'm doing is finding someone with a bit of high value crystals, and the first two here was missing as setup, couldn't have any defense at all. And then what I go in and do is try a lineup that I think will be able to beat this team. Right now it's a bit difficult,
your command,
but because they have no mages and no support heroes, so we have to be a bit creative. I think we can do that. Let's just see what happens. Like, it's so hard on this account to think about stuff properly. Let's see how it works out. Maybe I need to think a bit differently. But it looks like we will have this guy. Oh. So, what usually happens is when I've done this and spent some time trying to defeat them, I come here. I'm gonna use that one instead. Might wanna use Messia. Right, I can't put in an Odie. But not Odie. Rowan. Oh. Let's put in
what a tough fight.
Marilyn and Corin, I guess.
Come on, you'll need my spear.
Oh, I can put in Lucius so we get some shield up. And then I'm gonna put out the auto on Odie, so we can focus on like Cecia. Ooh. Yeah, and that won't be happening. So now I need to find something else. And only need 3 new heroes.
Well,
So that's good though. Let's do that. Have 2 new heroes. Maybe go this again, and now we go with the finding spell instead. See if we can kill the Brian first. Yes. We managed to kill the Leica. Good shield from Lucius. Now we only have the Antano left. So this is usually not how it's been going for me. Usually what's been happening is I go through all this, I spend so much time retrying because people are a bit more powerful. And then maybe I only have 1 or like 2 to 3 heroes left. And then this crystal just decides that, oh, I have an automatic shield that just comes up every now and then. So it just increases its health all the time. And I couldn't get through that shield. Like, it's so annoying. Like, if I defeated the enemy team, just let me attack the crystal. Like, there's no one left to defend. Why do you have to bring up a shield on it? Like, I wasted so much time yesterday not being able to beat the final team with enough heroes left so I could get a decent earning. And I spent maybe like 1.5 hours. Like, I did this late last night or yesterday evening, and it was such a nuisance. It was so annoying trying to get proper teams up and running. And I can imagine how other people is feeling. Like other free-to-play players that maybe don't have the game knowledge, and they're just sitting there being like, hey, I want to get as much crystals as I can, and they're just getting defeated over and over, just being stuck in like a circle where they can't get any higher. Like, that gotta be so depressing. And like I said, I know how pissed off I got about it, so I can imagine how everyone else was feeling. Like, investing so much time just to get to the last fight and then not being able to kill the crystal because it has an automatic shield system. Or you need to run around a lot and try and find someone that doesn't have an insane battle bonus. It's not very fun or pleasant experience. Just try and go with an all out like this. These two guys I've been up against now probably isn't that bad. But imagine if you're time limited and you can't go through battles easily. Like this. Like this was probably just a bit lucky. Yeah, and a lot of people don't have that time to walk around and check out many different crystals and so on. Is it a nice event overall when it comes to rewards? Sure. Is it nice for free to plays? I don't believe so. Let's bring back the granny again. I'll use her and then get some more healing. Oh, the Coco is not getting any damage. Or not even attacking me. Bad placement on my part. Oh. Well, worked out. Now again, I'm at the... This guy doesn't have any defense here, so I can just put in the trash heroes. So, here we have the last fight. I still need to put in 5 different heroes. So let's see if we can do this. I'm gonna do that. I need a good healer. I'm actually probably gonna go with Awakening because I'm going with Telling. And then one thing, if you want like endless attempts, you need to make sure when your team is about to die in here, you just pause and retry, then you can get endless attempts. But if you let the fight run out here, then you will lose. Let's see, this is one of those crystals where it gets shields. So what have happened several times to me is that I had like 2 heroes left because the enemy team was really strong. And then it just shielded up. And that is so frustrating after you spent like, maybe instead of having a shield up, you should probably just have something else, like 2 of your heroes survive, then you get X amount for every hero that survives something. I don't know. I just know how frustrating it was yesterday, like running around. First you need to find a crystal with a decent amount of reward. Then you need to make sure it doesn't have a battlefield bonus like this, where it's no Wilder, no Hypergene heroes. That fits. Or doesn't counter your entire count. Here you have like no Greyborn heroes. Just check my count overall. Okay, no Greyborn. I can't use 2 of my most upgraded heroes. You can't use Cecia. And then if you go with the Wilders instead, that is said in the other crystal, I can't use Granny, Florabelle, Arden, Damien. Like in late game, that's one thing. Because then you have more heroes, more teams that's available. This is was just so frustrating. Like having to run around. You already show up on map, but you still need to TP around and check for them. Oh, and here's no Maulers and no Celestials. Yeah, great. What they could have done instead, like, we can set up a defense in here. So why can't we just go in here and be like, oh, let's go plunder. And then have refreshes like in arena. And you get like a couple of crystals like 300. Oh, you refreshes, then you get one that's 350. I understand that you want interaction like running around and all that. This is no fun. Don't get me wrong, I like the creativity you need to solve the battlefield bonuses, but on an early account, that's just frustrating because you're just getting limited. So I went on a bit longer after the last I recorded, and I have to change my opinion a little bit because this time it was a lot easier, or a bit easier, to get some potential rewards. Imagine if you're struggling in decent awards. Like, I'm not gonna go for more than this. But imagine you're struggling like this for the entire event. Like I did yesterday. Like spending so much time just trying, and everyone I could find just running around in the world, having a hard time finding good crystals to even attack from the beginning. And sure, you could settle for lesser rewards, but then again, you're on a free-to-play account. You want to min-max every event you can to get as much progress as possible. Like here we found another one that's pretty decent when it comes to earnings, but the battlefield bonus is no warrior and no marksman. Here you have one without any battlefield bonus. If you're an early free-to-play player, beating this guy could probably be a bit hard. Or be a bit difficult. And I understand they want to do a lot with the map, like having interactions with the map. You can see people running around. It just feels bad. Like if I could just see them. Sure, I've been there, so I know. And sure, I can spend my time teleporting around and inspecting them like this. It just feels too time consuming, the rewards. You should just have one of these. Defend Geode. And then you should have this one where it's plunder Geode. You should just be the same. And then when you go in like this, instead of refreshing the same way, it could just be like you get 3 options to defend, right? So it could just spend the same here. We get 3 options where to plunder, and just let us refresh like a couple of times. Then when we attack that and try that, we can refresh it again, and then limit the amount of refreshes you can have in a day instead, or at least complement the current system with a system like that. If people are more time limited, they can't run around. They could also do that and then be like, oh sure, but the geodes or crystals you will find from the searching in here will be worse than the ones you can find out in the world. So maybe you could only find the lower tier crystals in here, but if you want the high rewards, you're a min-maxer, you could go out in the world and try and find those where it's like 470. Like, that would be a great system as well. Is it a fun event with this in general? Yeah. I consider that part of it. I actually like the event. But the rest of it, where you have to run around, find the good geodes to attack. As soon as I got a high tier rewards on my main account, I ain't doing that. Like, I would buy all the stellar crystals and the essence, but that's it. I ain't spending more time on this. On the free to play, these rewards are amazing. But spending all that time, and of course not everyone got multiple accounts, maybe they got one so they have time, or it's more reasonable to spend a bit more time to do this event. That's a fair point as well. But I can't imagine there's many people that is really enjoying teleporting around and just spending 10-15 minutes to find maybe one decent geo to attack or plunder. You then maybe discover it has some battlefield bonuses where it makes it impossible for them to be able to kill it anyways, and then they spend more time running around finding more to attack. But that's my thoughts of this new event, and in my opinion actually changed a bit after I continued today's attacks. If I get one more day where I just find impossible to kill the last crystal, or I get low rewards because the crystal is shielding itself, man, that's annoying. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you're enjoying the event and having a good experience with it, whether you're a whale or free to play. I actually think the defense part of the event is actually really good and really nice. The only thing is, like, some days you will low roll the defense output, and some days you will high roll. Some days you will have good teammates. Maybe you will find someone that you can partner up with for the entire event. Or maybe you have someone you can partner up with already and you're already doing that. That's amazing. But as always, thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.